First schools came from Germany in the 1920s. Rudolf Steiner, he's from Austro-Hungary, he had come up with his own philosophies of the world and the universe and life, and he was asked by the man who ran the Astoria cigarette factory in Frankfurt to start a school. And it was initially going to be for his staff, but the staff said we need it for our children. And they used his philosophy in setting up this school. And it's very interesting because his work views childhood in particular ways and year cycles. So that meant that the actual school that was initially started was looking at those 7 to 14-year-olds, which was seen as the main phase of childhood. And there are challenges there for the UK because he's under sevens would have been early childhood education, and now of course there's amazing Steiner kindergartens. But in the UK, when children start school at 4, there's always been little contrasts and issues with difference to the rest of Europe. But the key thing of the 7 to 14 age group is that you are educating the head, the heart and the hands, and it's quite a powerful way of educating from things. Nothing is abstract, it's really brought to you in a real physical way. So storytelling, and letters, and teaching your letters in class 1 when they're 6, 7 years old, is through fairy tales. And then from the fairy tales there's a drawing, and from that drawing the letter comes. So it might be a bear. If you draw a bear, it becomes a big capital B. And then it's this powerful thing that the letters come. Now, it's a different way of learning reading and writing than in English primary schools now, but it's a very powerful way that they remember the story and that they learn to write, and then they read their writing that they're doing. So it's just really interesting. And then the idea is you stay with that teacher from 7 to 14, and the teacher grows with you. They know the class. Everybody's always learning. And it can be every day they start with a 2-hour main lesson. So it's different topics for 3 weeks, and they make a very beautiful book, which they keep about each topic. So it goes through lots of different things. I've taught a lot of older children in Waldorf schools going to go for 3 weeks to teach science or geography, things like climate change and physical geography, and we make a textbook. And that's quite beautiful because you're not using textbooks, and you're not using, with the 7 to 14-year-olds, technology. So there aren't interactive whiteboards, and so it's coming from the teacher. And it's quite a powerful and beautiful way. There are, of course, lots of challenges that people ask about. What happens if you don't get on with your teacher? Now, in Steiner terms, it's the teacher's role to work that one out, and that all the behaviour that you're seeing is the way that the children are communicating with you. So you need to be creative in how you meet your class and meditate. There's quite a lot of the anthroposophy, which is a study, the Steiner study, that teachers do behind the scenes. The children don't know about that. The teachers start the day with a morning verse, there's a candle, and then there's quite a sort of spiritual collection and support of the staff before you go into your classroom. So you're very present, and you're meant to really be present for the children. It can mean that there are challenges. There's lots of challenges, but they still use blackboards. There's a lot of beautiful drawings, beautiful painted walls, tidy classrooms, natural wood everywhere, and there's that nice free flow. Now, most schools, it's first names still. So I'm Alice when I'm teaching, which I prefer, and then the children get to know you as a person. They do manage behaviour in early years, and I've had quite a lot of experience with the little ones. It's quite beautiful. It's all through singing. And there's that thing when you're in early years, it's very different because you don't want to interrupt their play because they're in this world of beauty and the children are playing, and adults do not normally even talk very much to the children. They'll just guide through gesture and being, because children imitate. So if you want them in a circle, you may move to a circle and sing, and then they join you. And it's all about gentle support. And if someone needs some support with for often if somebody hits somebody, you can go up to them and you can hold their hands and direct them away, check the other child's safe, and then redirect them and say, look, those hands need something to do, and get them busy doing something else. But it doesn't mean that people let children get away with things, because often I think people think about Waldorf schools that it's totally free for all, and it can be a really challenging place to be. It should be that there's this freedom from form, and the form, particularly in the early years, is kept by rhythm. So they know how they're breathing in and breathing out. So there's going to be singing, then free play, then there's going to be snack, then there's going to be some maybe a ring time, or there's going to be outside time and coming in for storytelling. And then there's the other powerful thing of telling stories. And actually that goes all the way through the school, that you do a lot of telling stories rather than reading, making things real.